But anyway, Jalen Clark has a lower leg injury. That's all I'm authorized to say to you. He's out this week. He will not travel to Las Vegas. And we will communicate with the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee if they wish us, if they so wish, they contact us as far as his further availability. That's all I can say to you about that.
Can you talk about how it will
Sure.
affect your team?
Absolutely. Opportunity, man. Jim, opportunity. Great thing for young kids. I've been saying all year I believe in our young guys, and whether there's times we could play big with Mac taking some of Jalen's minutes. Obviously, more opportunity for Will McClendon, Dylan Andrews, Abramo Zonka. So, as you can tell how I just perked up, excited for those guys. Jalen Clark is an unbelievably mature kid. So, he's in a great place mentally, and he's excited for now. So, it'd be a fun week. We've already accomplished a lot. Fun week to give those guys a chance to play and see how things look.
So, just want to make sure I got this right. So, there won't be any more updates on Jalen after this week?
I didn't say that. I said
Okay.
right now,
Okay.
when I'm authorized to tell
Got
you.
it.
See, he has a lower leg injury. He's unavailable this week. And at the NCAA, I'm not trying to avoid things with the tournament committee.
Okay.
So if they wish to communicate with us, I'm sure they will, and
Okay.
we'll reciprocate
All right. You almost swept.
on what I'm authorized to tell them.
Pretty much swept the all conference awards. Can you kind of run?
Yeah,
down
Alex
all
was
the
just showing me
winners?
that stuff.
A rundown all the way. You won.
You got to run it down because
All right,
I've been
I will.
busy this morning. So Alex was just briefing me actually walking in here.
The big one, Jaime, Player of the Year.
Yeah, great. Very happy for him. Jaime's got a lot of goals, but so something I think stuff like this, like for a player like Jaime's, or any of the kids, it's something they'll be able to reflect on when they're older. Right now, Jaime, it's like you're in the pool swimming laps, man. You can't stop. His race isn't over. He's got team goals he wants to accomplish. He's got career goals he wants to accomplish. So, but I'm going to make sure I tell him, that this, look, it's tough. Tubelis had a great year. So, congratulations to him for his season at Arizona. But Jaime should be proud of it, of the award. But like I said, he probably won't. You get older, you look back. He can show his kids, look what I won.
Jalen, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I think very few times. Although I think did Marcus Smart win it last year? We missed all the pros. Usually Defensive Player of the Year always goes to a big guy. So for a guy like Jalen Clark that's got a lot of Marcus Smart in him, it's harder. It's harder because everybody see if you're the tall shot blocker impacts the game with his size, even if he doesn't block the shot. It's much harder to win that award as a guard. But I'd be shocked if Jalen Clark didn't win that award unanimously. That's how elite of a defender he is.
But the issue, as far as what I saw, was that he didn't make the first team, which doesn't make any sense to me. 10-player first team, you got your best defensive player not on there?
Again, that's why you have the pen and the ink.
But I don't have a vote.
Let it rip. Well, you're not allowed to vote for your own.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're not allowed to vote for your own players.
Okay, right.
Or yourself as coach of the year.
Coach,
So you
because-
can't.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good, Jim.
Okay, because of where you rank and the injury factor that we just got through talking about, is the anxiety level starting to build and build?
No, heck no. It's much harder. The regular season is such a grind. I always talk about our aspirations, but all you can do is put yourself in position. And the worst thing you can do as a coach is have anxiety, because it's going to filter to your team. It's late in the year. These guys have earned it. We're going to Top Golf tonight to have some fun in Vegas. You know, it's time to let it rip. Time to believe in your team. It's not time to be anxious at all. It's a grind, long season. You know, college sports have changed so much with the scrutiny on the players. That to me is the worst change in the sport, is the 24/7 news cycle scrutiny on the players. I'm okay with it as a coach because you get paid and you're an adult. You can't, you know, the mental health of players is something that when I was young and started gym, we didn't talk about much. When I was a young assistant, you know, my dad, as you know, was a coach. But it's become much more of a problem, and I think it's because they're being scrutinized, criticized, or put on a pedestal all the time at a very young age. And that is a hard thing. I mean, you played. I mean, you know, that's a hard thing for, you know, young people that are not adults to go through the peaks and valleys of that. You're the greatest, then you're a freshman, you have a bad game, oh, you're a bust, you're not as good as they said. I mean, imagine being 18 and dealing with that. You know, it's not easy. You know, it's just not easy. You know, your team loses. I don't read any of that stuff, but they do, and I know they do, even though I tell them not to. So the mental health of it all, it's just a real grind on these guys. You know, and you guys see me as a disciplinarian type of guy. And what I try to teach my guys is, you know, you got to be tough, and you got to care about your family and the people in this locker room, because the people outside of it are 99% of them are transparent. When you help their team win, they love you. If you don't, they're gonna destroy you. So you can't play for them. You can't live for them. Like, you got to have toughness to deal with all that. So I try to teach them about to block all that stuff out. But it's hard. I'm just so, you know, right now, the last thing I want is anxiety in our program. You know, we need to be smiling, so, you know, and getting ready to go.
Getting back to the awards for a second.
Yeah, you're on these awards.
That's a big deal.
You're calling the Pac-12, aren't you?
It's a big deal, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say this. I don't know if there's rules about how many guys can be on a first or second team. You know, I think it's weird that isn't there 10 guys on the
10.
first team? Yeah, I think that's extremely weird. I think that's another sign of the times of everybody gets a trophy. You know, to me, it should be 5. You know, 5 and 5 and move on down the road. What is it, 10 and 10?
10 and 5, and then honorable mention.
Yeah. Everybody gets a trophy. It's the era we're in, man.
Down freshman of the year?
Yeah, well deserved. You know, I would think Amari was second. Obviously, he had the injury, missed a month. But Adem's, you know, this, to me, Adem was a lock to win that because coaches vote, so they don't look at stats. Coaches understand impact on the game. And, you know, they understand that, you know, our defense has been the best in our league all year. And Adem's been a monstrous part of that with his rim presence, and is, you know, really taken our interior defense, our second line of defense, to a whole new level. And he's been, you know, he's hasn't missed a game. You know, his durability for a freshman has been awesome. You know, despite taking a shot to the face.
Yeah. How is he doing there, by the way?
Good.
He got another one the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you have to knock him out to get him out of the game. I don't want anybody to try doing that, but you know, he took a lower body shot in one game and kept playing. So the Washington game. So yeah, it's you know, it's not ideal. The mask isn't ideal for him, but it's necessary. You know, that's all I'm allowed to say on that.
Okay.
But you know, there's a chance if we keep winning, he could get it off at some point. But I think the more he's playing, you know, hopefully the more he plays with it, the more he adjusts to it. But a well-deserved award. You know, stats can be overrated. He's one of the most impactful freshmen in America, period. Because when I say impactful, you look at, you know, how many Power 5 teams got 27 wins right now?
A couple. I don't know the answer. A couple.
0, besides us.
Oh.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Power 5.
Power 5. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got a big impact on that. So he's one of the best freshmen in America. Stats can be misleading.
And then you won Coach of the Year, second time in 4 years.
Yeah, that's coaching staff of the year. You know, that's how I look at it. You know, I have a tremendous staff, like I've said. Coach Lewis did a great year at Ball State. We're proud of him. We all get a kick out of it. You ever check his Instagrams out.
Okay, yeah.
You know, talking about cold beverages and students.
Yeah, I saw that. Some
Yeah.
beer, free beer.
Yeah,
Beer.
they made him change it to frosty beverage.
Oh.
So, you know, Evo's been a great addition to our staff. You know, I've said a million times, you know, Rod and Darren are head coaches on my staff. So, you know, my young guys, you know, all the way down to Alex, you know, we're a program, so we accept that award as a program, you know, and no coach, you know, coach of the year means you got really good players and you had a heck of a year. Let's just be honest. You know, nobody's winning that award that doesn't have really good players.
But you gotta have someone to set the tone, though.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm not good at accepting compliments, so I do. Ignore criticism, deflect praise. John Wooden.
Another big thing that's probably going to go under the radar, Tiger and Jaime, the first three-time all-conference players for UCLA since Darren Collison in 2007 to 09.
Wow.
So that speaks to continuity and
Yeah.
excellence together.
I think, you know, you talk about continued success. You got to have some continuity, right? You know, Tiger, we haven't talked about it. It's just coaches love Tiger because you got a guy that can make shots, run your team, take care of the ball. And his, again, stats can be overrated. People that really watch understand that when you need a basket at Colorado to ice the game, there's Tiger Campbell, right? You're struggling a little bit scoring, he gets a guy on him that he knows is younger, can't handle him, he knows how to get to a spot and get a bucket. You know, he's just a winner, and the guy just knows. I mean, Tiger Campbell has gotten more out of his physical attributes than any player I've ever coached. You know, for his height, his athleticism, his God-given stuff, he's gotten more out of that body than any player I've ever coached. And that's because of his fortitude, his competitive spirit, you know, which is the things that I respect the most. You know, so I respect people that get the most out of out of what they've been given. And Tiger has gotten the most out of that body, and he's been unbelievable.
Just switching gears 1 second to the games this week.
Yeah.
I spoke with Joe Lunardi yesterday, and he said that he feels like UCLA needs to win the tournament to keep the one, just given how competitive it is with the other teams like Baylor, Texas, Purdue. So is that important to you? How do you feel about that going into this week?
You spoke to who?
Joe Lunardi?
Yeah, not sure who that is. You know.
ESPN.
Yeah. I don't have any comment on that.
Okay. But I guess, all right, just
I'd rather you speak to my father,
Okay.
somebody that actually knows basketball.
Okay. But I guess, all right, throwing that away, what is kind of the goal this week for UCLA basketball?
Yeah, look, coaches hate, you know, the only way you like a conference tournament it can help you. Coaches hate, you know, certain coaches hate conference tournaments. Was it Lute Olson back in the day?
Yeah.
I can't remember his quotes, but you know, I know him and Bob Knight when it all first started.
Yeah.
I'm with them.
Okay.
But I would say this, Ben, you know, then you got to check yourself. So I say this to you, you got to make it about the players, right? So like, you know, for Jaime, he just walked in, like it's a chance for him to play. He's only got so many games to put the uniform on, you know. So obviously the NCAA tournament is our big goal. We know that. But it's a chance, you know, it's a chance for these guys to play. They want to play well. You know, we don't ever go on the court not unfocused or, you know, not ready to play at our best. So I try, you know, again, it's about them. If it was about me, it'd be a whole different story. Russell Stone may be starting on Thursday, but it's about them. So, you know, a chance for these guys to show their talents, and they work hard every time they get a chance to walk out there, you know, and represent our school. They're going to do it, and a chance to chase their dreams. So that's how I reconcile it, you know, because as much as I'm like, you know, but again, then I sit back and I say, okay, well, it's, you know, it's a chance for Amari Bailey to shine, or Dylan Andrews, or whomever name you pick. So, they put in a lot of work. They want to play games. So we look at it from coaches and fans standpoint. Trust me, the kids, they want to play. They don't want to practice this time of year, and I don't blame them. They want to play, and they want to play well, and that's what they're trying to chase their dreams. So I make it about that, and it kind of makes things simple when you make it about the kids.
At the top, you mentioned Brahmo. Obviously, saw quite a bit of him in the non-conference.
Yep.
What kind of role could he carve out for you? And do you have an idea of maybe how many minutes you might get in this?
No, we'll see. It depends games. We don't even know who we're playing. The one thing Abramo has a skill is he rebounds, and that's Will and Abramo do rebound, and Abramo has a nose for the ball as an offensive rebounder, much like Jalen Clark's this week. So he's going to get a chance. So we'll see. I mean, you just don't know how the flow of games go and who you're going to be playing, strategy and matchups and that. But I think that's an area and a skill I know he has that. As we've met with him and Will and talked to them about, we're not concerned about your shot making, this week. We're concerned about, be Jalen Clark this week. This week I would say just be Jalen Clark. Do what he does. Don't worry about making shots, because I tell Jaime the same thing, just play hard, man. You don't have, your playing time's not going to be dictated by your shooting. That's just how we roll at UCLA.